Alright, welcome to another episode of Rose Guns Days, episode 5. It has been over a month since the last one, I think. It might even be 6 weeks. A lot happened. I went on holiday. I got not sick, but I had some sleeping trouble. And then this week I actually got sick, so that's fun. But I'm better enough to actually do an episode. If I am a little slow and I misread some things, there's still some brain fog going on. But yeah, uh, I'm ready. I'm good for realsies this time. And why don't we start off as always? God, I am rusty, but gonna do my best. Let's start as always with the content warning. Fun fact: since last time, I've now officially been affiliate on Twitch for 2.5 years. My badge updated. That's how I noticed. Anyway, given the setting, these are going to be the content warnings, but if you remember or if you don't, doesn't matter. I'm going in blind in the series. I don't know what's going to happen, so I can't give more clear, specific content warnings. These might not even apply this episode. They might. I don't know. On YouTube, if there are more specific content warnings I can give after having played an episode, I will add them into the description so that you know what's going to come up, if necessary. So if any of this stuff makes you a little worried, I would say wait for the YouTube episode. Alright, content warning for Rose Guns Days this season. Gun violence, racism, sexual content, including references to SA, and misogyny. Again, this is a series set in post-World War II Japan, in an alternate timeline of sorts, where Japan lost the war due to a natural disaster, and both America and China moved in, took over, and are kind of wreaking havoc on the whole country, really. And our protagonists are involved in all kinds of underworld stuff. So yeah, keep that in mind. Speaking of our protagonists, here's what happened last time. Leo and the crew are trying to secure protection for the Primavera from Butler, or as I keep calling him on accident, Ballard, because he looks very familiar. But they're trying to get protection from him to basically keep the club safe and all the people involved. To convince him to help them out, they are tasked with finding an American soldier who has deserted, most likely, and who also has ties to the mafia, and his big brother, who is a big mafia boss, basically called Butler like, yo, you gotta find my little brother. They find out, once they start searching, that he's eloped with a Japanese girl who has massive debt, and they're being chased by the debtor. After a long fight and a sort of feint of sorts, where they say, okay, well, we're just gonna take this guy, and you just take the girl back so that she can work off her debt. They actually managed to not only save the guy, but also pay off the girl's debt, keeping them both safe, delivering them back to, well, the guy's family. I forgot his name. Is it Peter? I keep calling him the guy, which seems really rude. Anyway, they complete the job, securing Butler's protection. And he gets started on that immediately by shattering a bottle on a rowdy guy's head. So, at least he puts his money where his mouth is. We love to see it. Alright, well. I hope that my save games don't confuse me too much. What? I'm supposed to load and not start. See, this is what happens if you don't stream for a while. It probably looks like easy and shit, and I mean it is. Don't get me wrong, it is. However, if you get kind of into a flow of things, and then you don't for 6 weeks, you get real rusty. Real rusty. And then you do dumb shit like click the wrong button and starting the game over from scratch. Anyway. It's okay, because this is still one of the shortest intros I've ever done for this series. Even with the scuff at the beginning. I'm proud of myself. Once I edit that out of the YouTube video, it's gonna look so smooth. Minus the bit where I click the right. You know what I mean. Things are scuffed. This is normal. I need you to accept that. Alright. I have my tea, I have my cough drops, which I'll probably need. Sorry about that. There's like crackling, but hopefully the noise gate picked that up. I'm ready to go, let's go. Let's toast to Captain Philip Butler. Should have saved after the chapter end. Look at that player rank though. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But I assume that it means that I did good. Now that Primavera had Captain Philip Butler's backing, it was far more secure than it had been. Those shady people who came and tried to cheat them out of money disappeared like early morning frost on a spring day. Added to that, the rumor about them driving off crazy Alfred seemed to have spread. Thanks to that, many more shops now wanted to become affiliated with Primavera. On the other hand, that same peace may have made things boring for the bodyguards. Chapter 3. Dance celebrated with wicked fireworks. It sounds, can't tell if that's ominous or like cheerful. Alright, as always, we go top to bottom on the list. Westtown District. A residential district packed with cheap apartments. Meryl wanted to visit this place, so she told me to come along. And come along we will. Let me just angle myself so I can actually talk into the mic better. Okay, Meryl voice. Who? It's just a Lambda Delta voice, but less unhinged.
It seems the girl at my place has gotten into some trouble lately.
Trouble? Is the fastener on her corset getting stuck or something? Jesus Christ, Leo.
If only it was that simple. It looks like a lot of prisoners were released from a prison camp in Siberia recently. Did you hear about that?
Poor guys. Can't believe there's guys who've been stuck away from home longer than me.
Anyway, that girl's ex-boyfriend apparently got repatriated and came home. He keeps pestering her for money, so much that it's really troubling her.
I see. Then I guess that means I'm up.
You're just the driver. I can handle any sort of pimp you throw at me by myself. Jeez. Men are really hopeless, aren't they? You've got to drink to get by.
Driving drunk can't be good, though.
Alcohol is my blood. If I don't drink, I'll shrivel up and die.
Maybe I should have made her more unhinged than Lambda Delta.
Oh, stop at that corner there. Her apartment's close.
You sure you don't want me to come?
Didn't I tell you already? I only wanted you as a driver. Well, see for yourself. I'll come back after I've pinkened some men's cheeks.
In this utterly transformed Tokyo, there should be no greater fortune than running into an old friend. However, in this mad age, even that wonderful luck isn't always a good thing.
Please, don't ask me again, please.
Don't say that. Without your support, how are we supposed to eat? The man violently snatched the large wad of bills the girl was holding out.
Then get a job. I'm working myself to death.
Even though all you do is flirt with American soldiers.
I'm doing it as a job. I do it because I want to be able to eat.
We put our lives on the line, fighting for this country. And yet, we get nothing in return. All women have to do is spread it and make a killing.
Stop talking like that. It's natural that you won't get money if you don't work.
Shut the fuck up. We men saw hell and got nothing for it, while you women just sat all snug in Japan and got fat. Just where am I supposed to work? There's no way I'm going into the army again.
Stop it. Let me go.
Can't we just get along? Like old times? Can't we?
Stop it. We're already over. Ow.
Who are you? What are you doing? Yeah, get him, Meryl. Oh, I was ready for a mini game, but not yet.
You're the worst kind of man. All you do is extort money, and now you resort to violence? Meryl. Just leave the rest to me, okay? I'll whip this pimp's attitude into shape.
What did you say? You think you fucking can? I mean, yes. Yes, we can. Oh boy. The difficulty of the fights went up. Alright, he was a pushover, never mind.
If you've learned anything from this, you'll never come back again.
You little bitch. No. What's up? What's going on here? Got a headache from this hangover. Can't you keep it down a bit? Uh-oh. One after the other, several men came out of her house. Each one stank of alcohol. What's with her? A friend of your girl's?
Oh, what the heck? They're all living here? He said they were friends and brought them all to live here. I see. So they really are cockroaches.
What was that? We're war buddies. Brothers who made it through hell. You women, all safe and snug in Japan, you'd have no way of understanding.
Not my problem. If you want money, why don't you try working? Not fulfilling your duty to work? Extorting money off a woman? You're worse than cockroaches.
You're a cheeky little girly, aren't you? I think I've taken a liking to this one. What? Don't you look pretty all dolled up like that? You're earning cash, right? Why don't you give me a little something?
Sure, I'll give it to you. My fist, that is. Though, looks like there's just a few more people than I expected.
It seems you got confidence in your strength. But there's not much you can do against this many, huh? You want to be hung out to dry, or are you gonna apologize and hand over whatever you've got on you? Or would you like to soothe our war-wounded hearts with that body of yours?
Meryl, run. If I run, what'll happen to you? Running's something I can't do. If we're talking about the hells we've lived through, there's no way I, Meryl Tanashi, am gonna lose to the likes of you.
You know, if you really look, she's actually kind of pretty, ain't she? We're gonna make you regret being born a woman. Huh? Who the hell are you? Just a passing taxi driver. Have any orders, miss?
Perfect timing. Could you make a quick trip to the hospital? These guys look like they need help.
It's the call a hospital but not for me meme. Before that meme existed. Oh jeez. I saw that timer almost running out. Hey. No! I forgot about the minigame, and I'm slow today. This could be bad for my high score. I'll play it a little more safe. It doesn't really matter, but it matters for my ego, which is very small. Could be worse, could be worse.
Got it? Next time you so much as look at this girl, you'll be feeding the fish in Tokyo Bay, okay?
We'll remember this. Ow. Hey, wait for me.
How pathetic. Running with their tails between their legs. Thank you, Meryl. You really, really saved me. Don't worry about it. If you're ever in a bind, you can always rely on me. But, you know, please don't think too badly of him. Of your ex.
Meryl, you good?
When he got back from the battlefront, he was just so happy to see you, but he was just a little too weak and dependent. Yes, I understand. I think I understand how painful this era is for men. Well, it's a time where both men and women have to drink to get by. Can't take it any other way.
Having said that, She knocked back the bottle she was always carrying. Just putting that in the content warnings.
You did great too, Leo. Want a drink?
Hey now. You want a drunk driver? Ideally, no. Club Primavera. Since we gained the captain's backing, the number of problem guests shrank. With too much time on my hands, I sometimes pretended to be a bartender. Amazing. You're like a real bartender, Leo. You're too kind. That'd be an insult to real bartenders. Oh, Stella voice. Let me just think about how I did that. And drink some tea because it's pretty much cold at this point. I've already heard about it from Meryl, but you really are pretty good. Could you take an order from my table? Or my table? No sweat. What kind of order? Can you handle a champagne-based cocktail? The details are up to you. Enough for 8 people. No problem. I'll make it so good they go wild. I'm looking forward to it. Leo, good luck. Do that shaky thing again. Champagne? Sounds like a pretty original sort of cocktail. Club Primavera was a place where one could forget the reality of a tough world for a moment. A cocktail served in a place like this should be dazzling and outrageous. After all, if you want a boring, colorless reality, you could get as much as you like when you pay your bills and go outside. Amazing. You can work a kitchen knife too. Just enough to cook for myself, yeah. Isn't that nice? I'd love to have a dinner made by you, Leo. Call me anytime. I always go all out when setting up a dinner for 2. Oh, Leo. A man's champagne cocktail is usually quiet and plain, but that wouldn't work for Primavera. He started making fruity drinks that were beautiful just to look at, deftly adding in strawberries, orange, lemon, and so on into the mix. Amazing! How pretty! That looks delicious. All the colors of the rainbow. It's so cool you can make 8 different kinds. Pardon me, ladies. Would you mind taking these over to Stella? Alcohol tastes 10 times better if it's handed to you by a cute girl. Okay. I'll carry them. By the way, which one is Stella's? You can choose whichever you like to carry over, but I'd recommend the orange-colored mimosa. It's got a sweet and sour taste with faintly bitter aftertaste. Doesn't that match your charm perfectly? The beautiful cocktails were set on a tray and carried to the table where Stella and some customers sat. Stella and the others seemed impressed by the multicolored set of glasses. Just Yeah, just hire him as a bartender, holy shit. To be fair, he's also freakishly strong, so a very good bodyguard as well. But, I mean, how did he even know? Like, how do you even pick up bartending, right? Surely someone has to, like, pass that down to you, or you have to experiment a lot in the... I don't know. I don't know. I don't drink, so who knows? You could tell me anything, I'll probably believe you. If you told me that there's some magical bartending scroll that gets passed down through the generations, I would buy that. If it wasn't for the war, you might have become a bartender, Leo-kun. Oh, madam. Would you do me the honor of having a drink with me?
Thanks. I guess I will then. Hey, Rose. Let's make Leo our bartender.
That's what I'm saying.
That way, he can be a bodyguard too when things get tough, and we won't have to worry. He isn't antisocial like Wayne, so there's no problem putting him on the floor.
Wayne just gets dunked on even when he isn't around, and that's funny. I'm sorry, Wayne.
If Leo-kun's okay with it, I'd love to ask him.
I'm nothing compared to a real bartender. If you want a decent bartender, why don't you put out job offers?
It's hard to find a man you can trust these days.
That's right.
It'd be terrible if he brought some strange man in and he caused trouble. Right?
That's not true. There's plenty of people out there more decent than I am.
We used to employ a lot of bodyguards, but problems rose up often. We're a bit hesitant to hire men if we don't know their backgrounds.
That's not true. You hired a suspicious-looking guy like me. If you hadn't picked me up, I might have become a villain's underling working for someone like Alfred.
Thank goodness. It'd be terrible if you were one of Alfredsson's henchmen.
Maybe even Alfred's underlings didn't become that because they wanted to.
You're saying they had no choice since they couldn't find jobs?
There's probably some people out there like that, since they can't speak English or Chinese, and no one wants to employ Japanese people.
You're right. If there's no employment, that would happen. That would happen, even.
If you want, look into it a bit. It's not like all Japanese men are scum.
Yeah. I'd like to think about it a bit.
Rose, with her strong sense of responsibility, looked up at the ceiling with her arms folded, mumbling and worrying. Leo regretted his actions slightly, thinking he might have put it a bit too seriously. What? How do I pronounce this noise? Is that a happy unya? Is that an angry unya? Is that like a karate chop unya? Oh shit. I hoped if I'd skip to the next line, the context would be provided. Nope, still confused.
Yeah.
What the? Stella's not good. She's not having a good day.
Of course. I'm a woman. A weak woman who only gets fawned over while she's young. Wait, Stella? Don't tell me you...
Oh.
Did someone give Stella alcohol?
Isn't this a club for drinking alcohol with girls?
The truth is, Stella, well, can't handle alcohol at all. When she drinks it, she gets all high-strung for no reason. That's why your glass always looks like alcohol, but it's all non-alcoholic.
That's why they asked which glass was for her.
Oh, but this is a secret, though.
Maybe you should tell your bartender that. Even your part-time bartender.
You only fawn over me because I'm cute, right? Because I'm young, right? That's all right. But I know, when I'm not young anymore, no one's gonna look at me. I know I'm half a granny already. No one's gonna be nice to me. Hey, Stella, calm down, okay? Well, you sure have it nice and spiffy with your yellow and that sneaky popular shade of yours. I know I'm nothing but a blue granny shape. Leo, I asked you which glass was Stella's, didn't I?
No one told me not to put alcohol in it.
I'm so sorry. I thought everyone knew. It sure is nice you look so young. The future will be owned by chibis and lolis.
God. What on earth is happening?
Who are you calling a chibi loli? How dare you? You perfectly proportioned, long-legged woman. You only have to fake your age and get some handsome gentleman to marry you. But I'm a granny. A single granny. And whose fault is that? That's what you get for swapping men all the time. I'm sorry for thinking of men as walking wallets. Someone, anyone, marry me. You guys, marry me right now.
Oh my God, help me. What does it say? What is happening? Oh no. Stella-san, yamete kudasai.
Hey, Stella, let our customers go. No, I'll never let go. Not until they say they'll marry me.
Overcome by an incomprehensible urgency, Stella jumped on the American soldiers one after another and rode them around. More surprising, perhaps, than her drunken behavior was the way she forgot absolutely everything later. Probably for the best. Probably for the best. What on earth just happened? I forgot to read what the description said. I just clicked it because I'm still baffled by the scene just now. Lots of new faces around the employment agency lately. Seriously, those guys don't know the code for standing in line. Makes me want to kill someone. Like we had a code. No, we had a code. There's at least the rule that says you can pull someone's... What? There's at least a rule that says you can pull someone's clothes but not their hair. Like you even have hair to be pulled. I won't let some uppity kid beat me. Damn it, I'll show him a thing or two. As usual, The street of carts was overflowing with its own special kind of vigor. It was filled with poor-looking men, day laborers, and low-wage laborers. Complaining wouldn't change anything. However, if complaining gives you even a little more energy for tomorrow, then go for it all you like. This place was filled with those desperate positives among the negatives. Lately, Leo had taken a liking to this atmosphere. Cyrus, what a coincidence meeting you in a place like this. Oh, it's Leo. You here to eat too? Yep. There are times a man just wants to eat terrible food. That's guys for you. If you don't mind being next to me, have a seat. The food here's pretty terrible. And that's good? Idiot. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Kabajaki, is it? I'd like a bit of this with some terrible drink. Oh, the alcohol here is just awful. You'll get drunk right away. Come on, eat up. You guys over there? It's a repatriation celebration on me. New friends of yours? Looks like they just got back from the war. We were at a prison camp in Siberia. There were some sick people in the boat. We got quarantined for a while. I only got repatriated a short while back too. Tokyo must have made you do a double take, huh? I can't believe it. How can this be Tokyo? Everything's English this, Chinese that. This is Japan. What's wrong with only being able to speak Japanese? Looks like they're all having troubles. Unable to get a decent job. So, let's go back to the military or fight over a few jobs in the employment center. Or else, go take an English language course. What a terrible era it's become. We could just employ them at Primavera. Right now, we don't have any bodyguards except our little group, right? We used to have a bunch of them. We just couldn't get them all settled down, that's all. I see. So, they couldn't listen to what a woman told them to do. The guys who came back from the battlefield are a rough bunch. They might be used to a stern-faced sergeant yelling at them, but being managed by women ain't something they're used to. Weren't you a demon sergeant yourself? I've heard the rumors. That was during the war. I've got no desire to look over a rough bunch now that the war's over. And anyway, I'm Richard's bodyguard. I drop by Primavera now and then, but not every day. Without some stern-faced person glaring at him, well, they become pretty useless, don't they? You got it. They get more and more worn out, turning into problems that just drink and get drunk and make trouble with the customers. And when Alfred and his bunch got involved on top of that, they just got scared, got bribed, and gave up. Men are fundamentally soldiers. If someone doesn't give strict orders, they just let themselves go to waste. Yep. To bring men together, you need a man with a presence about him. There's no one like that in Primavera. Wade isn't that sort. I'd pass on that too. Well, there you have it. Which means, Demon Sergeant, that you're the man for the job after all. I'm Richard's friend. I'm a bodyguard so I can help him. It might not look it, but working for him keeps you busy. I may not look it, but office work keeps me busy. Take a look at these calluses on my fingers. A typewriter did that to me. He could employ people there and send you to Primavera. Sure, if that suspicious Richard ever finds someone he can trust. And yet, he does trust you. That's pretty impressive. Oh, well. We've been friends for a long time, after all. Most of the people who came back from the war were thrown out into an unrecognizable Tokyo, without any friends or family. In other words, no one trusts them. That does seem to be the case. Yeah, it's surprisingly harsh. I was fortunate enough to be trusted by Rose. Thanks to that, I'm able to eat for now. However, all those others who weren't fortunate are trusted by no one, so they can't get jobs. Well, Americans only trust Americans, and the Chinese only trust the Chinese. In that case, would it take the Japanese to trust the Japanese? There aren't any Japanese people rich enough to employ others. All I can do is buy a meal from the war buddies I meet like this. The war was meaningless, but at least having the war buddies isn't so bad. That's right. War buddies are family. No one who remained here can understand that hell. That's why we fellow war buddies have to help each other out, like this. War buddies are family. Even you must have had some friends who fought with you on some battlefront, right? Well, maybe. Public order being bad, and the depressing, poor atmosphere. It's all because there's no jobs. Well, the jobs are out there. The Japanese just turn them down. Did I read that correctly? Yeah. The person who's talking disappeared, but I'm gonna assume it's Cyrus. If only the Japanese language or English or Chinese. Oh, that was Leo. Exactly. When our ancestors inherited their culture from the Chinese, why the hell didn't they make their language Chinese too? I don't think that's how that works, Cyrus. If the Sea of Japan didn't exist, and this was just another part of the mainland, the country called Japan might not even exist, and we'd all be Chinese in the first place. The Chinese sure have it good. Their spirit of aiding their countrymen really is impressive. Make sure you don't try picking a fight with a Chinese man in Chinatown. You'll get surrounded by the Chinese mafia and thrown in with some fried rice. Okay. In the same way, it's best not to pick a fight with an American. That's right. The American army moves fast when it comes to protecting their people. So, if someone picks a fight with a Japanese person in Tokyo, who's gonna get revenge? That's what happens when you're a member of a 6th class, war-losing country. If you hit a dog, you'll get an animal rights group after you, but no one complains if you hit a Japanese person. Anyway, there's a lot of people out there who are unsatisfied. People like that are joining together and calling themselves war buddy groups. At first, they were pretty much vigilante groups, but they quickly started roping off their turf and demanding fees, turning mafia. And at the top of the list of groups taking those people in and expanding their influence is that pack of Alfreds. Rumor has it that Alfred's been beat up by some guys and sent to the hospital. Sounds like the other mafia have started fighting for supremacy in City 23 now that the crazy Alfred's away. If the feuds get bigger, mafia hiring will shoot up too. That's it. and the city will get more dangerous. If our luck had been just a bit worse, Alfred might have been our boss. Sounds like he's been treating his underlings lavishly. Might not be so bad to have him as an employer. I did it again. But I saw Kate Ag, so I'm happy either way. Because he's cool. I forgot how to do his voice though, so I'm just gonna make something up. Yeah, now, so I was gonna read the description later when I got to the menu again, but now I can't because I clicked it away and we're not gonna return to that menu. So I guess we'll never know what those things said. Sorry about that. Oh no. You really did help us out the other day. We were able to find the lieutenant safe too. Come on, don't be so stiff. If anything happens in the future, just ask. We're friends who have both eaten army food. Is he gonna be the new bodyguard? Is he? Hell yes. So, war buddies are good to have. Thanks. That's right. We war buddies have to help each other out. When we came back to our country after fighting with our lives on the line, just who was here waiting for us? No one, that's who. No one would accept us. Nowhere to work, sometimes nowhere to sleep. And that's right. No one would accept us when we returned from the battle lines. That's why we've got to help each other. And that's why I'll help a war buddy like you without conditions. So, in the same way, if you see a war buddy suffering somewhere, help them out. Yeah. We'll never abandon our war buddies. The bond of fighting together is our pride. That's right, men. Our bond as war buddies lasts a lifetime. Yeah. We'll never abandon a war buddy. Buddies. Yay, they're all friends. I genuinely got worried for a second there because those sprites are like the bad guy sprites. But now they're buddies. They're all pals. Isn't that wonderful? Shishigami. Don't misunderstand. This isn't about anything that happened on the battlefield. It's just about helping each other in the future. We're here, right now. This isn't the battlefield anymore. We just have to help each other here. Don't you have anything you've left forgotten on the battlefield? I do. Just like you. However, even if you forget, no one will think badly of you. In fact, if it's painful, then just go ahead and forget about it. I realize that a lot of us have gotten a new start and taken new English names just so that they can forget. Mar Nobishi was filled with all repatriated soldiers. It might be seen as a shady bar where rowdy people gathered, but if you listen to their conversations, it'd change your impression considerably. Don't know where my wife's or my daughter's graves are. The place my house used to be is a public restroom now. At least you could find the place. With all the streets and everything moving around, I don't have a clue where my house was. But even if we don't know, This place is our homeland. That's right, this is Japan. It's the Japan all those dead ones wanted to come back to so much. That's right. No matter how much the scenery's changed, the dirt's still the same. We've laid foot on the dirt of our homeland. That alone makes us lucky. Can you really call it a homeland if there's no one waiting for you there? We've all lost our families. All of us are all alone. And that's what makes us family. All of us war buddies are family. That's right, we won't abandon our war buddies. We're family. It was a damn shitty war, but we've got so many brothers. Isn't that enough? You could see rough men desperately encouraging each other everywhere. While they were off to war, the great disaster destroyed all, and the rapid development known as Reconstruction covered all traces of their homeland. There was no one waiting for them at home, no one to welcome them back. No one needed them or employed them. They were just sad men who could do nothing but bask in alcohol and encourage their fellow war buddies. Even that's much better than it used to be. At first, they weren't able to accept their changed homeland and they'd shut themselves away, then get violent. I understand how they feel. Who'd believe that this was once a working-class district of Tokyo with its good old charm? Still, we've got to accept it sooner or later. Being able to hold your war buddies' shoulders and cry together and encourage each other makes that possible. I'm an optimist, so my worrying never got that serious. Still, drinking here with you guys makes the burden feel a little lighter. And that's how it is. Oh, that's right. Rumor has it that a lot of men were released from a prison camp in Siberia. Sounds like ships have been bringing them back, up in Niigata. Poor guys. If they come back to Tokyo too, their eyes will pop. Even though they finally come back, there's no home or family to welcome them. At the repatriation office, they'll just get told to enroll again, this time in the American Army. I'd like to accept people like that myself. Your responsibility as an officer? No. It's because the war inside me hasn't ended yet. Even now, I'm the leader of those rowdy troops. It's my responsibility to see that they don't end up wandering the streets. I'd like to help them with jobs too. And I'd like to gather money to help our war buddies who are missing arms and legs and can't work. And a lot more besides. If they've come back with tears streaming down their faces, then I'd like to be the one person who will welcome them. You guys fought well. You did well to make it back here. That's what I'd like to say. It's an admirable thing. Compared to that, I don't know what kind of baptism you received on what sort of battlefield. Still, there's one thing I can tell you. What? The only person who can end your war is you. I can't abandon my responsibility as their leader. Because of that, my war will continue. Maybe the day will come when it's okay for me to let go of that responsibility. Until that day, I'm a leader for these troops. My war. It's a long ways away. A long ways away from this Japan. What's wrong, Shishigami? Heading back already? Sorry if my talk's gotten you down. It isn't like that. I'll be back, war buddy. Come whenever you like, Shishigami. Our battlefields might have been different, but we're war buddies who fought together. I'm glad I got to meet you, Kid Eiji. By taking the name Leo, I was trying to forget my old self. But I can't forget. I'll never forget those people who spoke of their future under that blue sky, covered with sweat, but with their eyes clear and hopeful. I wonder how they're doing. Nice try, Leo Shishigami. The person who showed them those dreams and then betrayed them was you. Only you. My war will continue. Even surrounded by this nighttime city with shining lights, it won't end. The city was overflowing with unemployed people back from the war. Of course, that wasn't good for public safety.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense to me. It was inevitable that Japanese men would drift into the criminal underworld and form mafias.
Humans are at their worst when they have nothing to do. No matter how low the pay might be, they're at their worst in an environment where they cannot work.
But during the fierce reconstruction of that time, weren't emergency funds pouring into Japan? Oh, right. The language.
That's right. The fact that they could only speak Japanese made the Japanese people outcasts from those reconstruction funds. Both Americans and the Chinese, no, all the peoples of the world, will not trust people they can't communicate with using language. So naturally, the occupying forces also placed orders for reconstruction projects with people whose language they could understand. Then, they would repeatedly pass jobs on, finally using the Japanese as low-wage day laborers. So, for the Japanese, learning foreign languages became very urgent. Learning a language is no easy task. You need to undertake a high-level education for a considerable period, without having to worry about money for food or clothing. It was necessary for children, but adults didn't have that freedom. So, what is it that the Japanese adults of that period needed? Employers who could trust them. And, unfortunately, people like that were nowhere to be found at that time, except in the criminal underworld. Madame Rose began to worry more and more. Why are so many Japanese people living in misery? Before, she had never considered it at all. But upon becoming Madame, she gradually started to think. Now, perhaps it was directly because she had a sense of responsibility double that of a normal person. What could she do in this city 23? No, in this age. Damn it. Every time. Every time. every time he shows up and makes me say just the absolute dumbest, worst shit with my own mouth. And last time I refused. Thank you for the save reminder. I will save now. I don't... Y'all can read. If you can't, it's Butler, and he said something stupid again, and I don't like it, so I will skip. I did that last time. I feel like I'm allowed to skip his bullshit. Because it just makes my entire soul cringe out of my body. It makes me cringe so hard that it could turn coal to diamonds. So I won't. I won't. I refuse. I'm not doing it. God damn. Let's hope he keeps his dumb mouth shut from now on. He won't. Of course he won't. Of course he won't, because I'm here to suffer. Anyway. Okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. I worry about the other stuff that he might say next. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Welcome, Captain. We kept wondering when you'd drop by. You're looking as great as ever. Must be tough being a popular guy.
God damn it. Someone taped this man's mouth shut. This is like if you took Balor from Umineko and gave him a lobotomy. There is no brain inside this man. There is no brain inside this man's head. I wish I had 2 more arms to rub all your boobies at once. Jesus Christ. And then they laugh and call him a pervert because it's funny. It's annoying. Initially the cameo was fun, right? And now it's like, why are you still here? Just leave. Leave me alone.
Oh, you pervert, Captain.
Thank you, just get serious for once. I'm seething. I'm actually mad. Okay. How's it been? Anyone try to pull any funny business since then?
Nope, not at all. Haven't seen a trace of those guys. And it's all thanks to you. So, we'd better do a whole bunch to make it up to you today. Oh, looks like another freebie overload today. By the way, before we start drinking, could you call Rose down here?
I've got something good to tell her today.
You want to reserve the club for your superior's birthday party? That sounds wonderful.
At least, we're using that as an excuse for having a dance party. Or is it the other way around? The money will all come from the occupying forces. I'd like to ask you to handle the drinks, women, and so on.
That's a very important responsibility.
As long as it turns out as a party that doesn't shame itself, we'll foot the bill for whatever you want. You getting me? Might as well take this chance to let Primavera have a sip of the good stuff.
It's pretty incredible that we're being entrusted with something this big.
I told you before, didn't I? That we'd be dealing with each other as equal partners. You helped me out with the Lieutenant McDowell business, so it's my turn to repay the favor.
You must have gotten people to think pretty good of you after that lieutenant's rescue.
Might be. What do you think, Rose-chan? Will you take it on?
Yes. We will respectfully, happily, accept your offer.
Oh, is it Wayne time? It's Wayne time. Leo, go drive Rose home. You sure it's okay if it's me? I thought you'd want to go. I'm better when it comes to protection. However, I'll admit that you're the better driver. Yeah, I'd imagine you were driving and be pretty short-tempered. I doubt girls give you good ratings on that. That's why you're going. I'll be training here. It's been strangely quiet lately, but we still don't know when someone will come by and try and extort money from us. Bodyguards are what you need to prepare for the unexpected. You're a perfect example. Shut up! If something happens to Rose-san, I won't forgive you. That's a big responsibility. I'll be back, Wayne-kun.
So, you're driving today, Leo-kun. Glad to have you.
Sorry to keep you waiting, madam. So, shall we go to the car?
Thank you. Things are about to get busy, so we've got a lot of preparation to do.
Oh? Is there some sort of fantastic party coming up?
You got it. That was a good guess. Yes, we're going to be hosting a party. The truth is, we got a request from Captain Butler. And so...
And so, Sam cringed to death because of Butler. But no, I lived. I'm alive. And this time, I will read the prompts. Assembly Hall. You know, Amanda-san gathers normal people and teaches English. In the future, you won't be a full adult until you can speak that language. I've heard a lot of kids take lessons here. Let's go check it out. Very good, everyone. Your pronunciation is excellent. Does she teach in this getup? She does.
Still, don't forget that facial expression and emotion are important. English is more than words.
It's a form of communication. Surely that goes for most languages. It'll come across much better if you give a clumsy thank you with a big smile, instead of a well-flowing thank you with a cold expression.
Yes, ma'am.
An English language classroom for children.
They do get taught it in school, but that alone isn't enough. Amanda-san is teaching for free, for the kids.
She teaches well. It's like watching a real teacher.
She says she was a real teacher once.
So, why did she become a lady of the evening?
Leo-kun, in our world, it's good manners not to ask that.
When Amanda announced that the class was over for the day, the kids rushed out of the room.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Thanks for coming all the way out here. That was an excellent lesson, like always. It looks like the kids were having fun too.
Well, children are flexible. However, the adults are to be pitied. To the adults, English is still an enemy language. They understand logically, but their heads and hearts won't accept it. expel all enemy culture, huh? Remnants of the sad age when imported records got crushed whenever they were found. The language problem is directly linked to the unemployment problem. In Japan, though, you can't get a decent job if you can't talk.
That's the biggest wall blocking the people who've come back from the battlefield from finding work, isn't it?
I've had personal experience with it. We men either have to return to the army or become unemployed. Those unemployed people become gangsters, and they eventually threaten the lifestyles of other Japanese people. When the Americans see that, they mock the Japanese for being a violent, vulgar people.
The wall of words is a very, very big problem.
That's right. That's why I think teaching them languages is the most important thing for Japanese people now. Well, all this is besides the point. What made you come all the way out here? Something to do with Primavera, yes?
Oh, right. The truth is, Captain Butler...
I see. I think it sounds good too.
I'd like to set up a splendid dance party.
I understand. I'll talk to the girls in my clubs too. I'll collect girls who can speak English. So, even ladies of the evening can't do their jobs unless they speak English. Naturally. That's why everyone's studying English so frantically.
In that case, sorry about the trouble, but I'd like for you to help us.
Leave it to me. And, by the way, Rose.
Yes? What is it?
I've heard about how you found the American lieutenant the other day. To pay the ransom for that girl named Helen, you set down a lot of money, didn't you? Just like that. That was just manly of her. She had enough strength behind her words that would have knocked you down. I hear you just handed over $1 million. But did you discuss the matter beforehand?
Well...
It's not like I don't understand your compassion for this Helena. However, you are the madam. Do you know what that means? It doesn't matter that it all went well in the end. The safe choice would have been to take the lieutenant and hand over Helen.
But that would be just too sad for them.
If relations with them sour, they might take a pass at someone in the club next. When that happens, will you be able to take responsibility for that girl? I understand it's that personality of yours that draws everyone. That's why everyone follows you. Everyone knows that your heart is beautiful and transparent. However, you are the Madam Rose of Primavera. If you're standing at the front, you can't be a glass shield.
I'm sorry.
I imagine Richard has already said the same thing to you. Before making an emotional judgment, please talk things over thoroughly with him.
Okay.
Sorry for making this sound like a lecture. I'll take care of finding those girls we talked about. Thanks for coming today.
Maybe I really am unsuitable as the madam.
That's not true. Because you are as you are, people follow you. The same goes for me. Back then, you made me fall for you all over again.
Thank you, Ryukun.
Richard's office. Richard Kun's like Primavera's dad. Thanks to the central pillar he provides, we don't have to worry about all sorts of troublesome matters. And, we're gonna make it a short episode today, because my brain fog is kicking in. Like, I'm noticing that I'm not reading sentences properly. So I'm gonna cut this one a little short, but we're gonna get a stopping point for now. And I will be back with hopefully a lot more energy. But I'll be back next week. Thank you for that. The Iggy shower, I guess. Yeah, that's gonna be it for now. I will have this up as soon as possible on the YouTube page, including trigger warnings and timestamps for relevant parts. And I've also been, I have some more shorts coming up, so check out the YouTube. Things are happening. I'm also going to be editing more long-term, like long-form stuff, but this is going to take a while, but I'll do my best. So if you haven't subscribed yet, you know, now's your chance. Always is your chance. The link is in the about page. You can do that whenever. No rush. But yeah, that's gonna be it for now. Did I forget anything? I'll be back on Wednesday. Probably doing an art stream. I might do Minecraft instead. We'll see. It depends on what I feel like for the day. But yeah. Gonna be back at the usual time, usual day. So Wednesday and Thursday next week we'll be streaming as normal. Picking up our normal programming. Scheduled programming. There we go. See, I can't talk anymore. I need to stop. It's time. Anyway, thank you for being here today. Whether that's literally right now, while this is airing, or in the actual future, hi from the past. I hope things are cool over there. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time. I'm happy to be back. And yeah, more next week. And that's it. I will now flip to my end screen so I actually end the stream instead of sitting here rambling for another hour, which I'm entirely capable of doing, but it's not going to be good for me. Anyway, alright. Let me just close the game. I did save, yes, I definitely saved. Kick off some music to send us off. Nothing's happening. My mouse will double click, I don't know how. But yeah. Back next week with more. Check out the YouTube. Have a great night. Have a great day. Have a great week. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.